Rumble YouTube family, what's good? What's happening? Let's talk for a little bit. Uh, I am going through my little news feeds and I stumbled upon this because obviously you can see up at the title of this thing from Fox 32 Chicago, Epstein Files, over 33,000 pages released by the House Oversight Committee, right? And I was like, wow, that's interesting. I go ahead, I kind of thumb through it, check it out, see what's good, what's going on. And then I'm like, wait a minute. This kind of goes along with what I was talking about yesterday. I said, man, this whole thing just don't seem right. This whole thing seems fake. The thing, it just doesn't seem right. It doesn't seem as if this is right. This does seem fake. It seems kind of scripted, right? And then I'm starting to think, wait a minute, but it's 33,000 pages. How many files did they say? Didn't they say not 33,000, but didn't they say, but they had 3 million files released? But those are files, those aren't individual pages. These are 33,000 individual pages. But then they said 3 million files. And I was like, oh man, I'm starting to see just the relationship between the numbers alone. And I'm just thinking to myself, that's it. That's it right there. This is the script. This is the script. That's it. Now, what kind of sparked me along, I'm going to admit, right, was I was watching Jake the Awake. I know he changed his name, Jake the Awake, right? Typically don't, it is what it is. My thing is I don't watch his stuff all the time, but I was recommended to watch it. I watched it today, and you want to know something? Doesn't matter whether I like it or not, it's the truth and it's right. He says something along the lines on his production today that this is all scripted. All of this is scripted. And that's something that I was starting to understand, or rather forming my own opinion based off of the experience of seeing 33s everywhere. That is part of the script. The 33 basically saying, yes, we are in line, we're right on time. You know what I'm saying? That's their like little bat signal saying, yep, we're doing it right. We're right on script. So this is why things like Joe Gilberti doesn't get any shine. This is why when we're talking about the guy that found all that water and everything, and then you had the Mosaic Group offer him $500 million, and he said no, and then they're like, "We forget your rights, you're going to jail," right? Off the break, they send him right to jail. They lock him up, throw away the key. You don't hear about him. You don't hear about him on the World News Tonight. You don't hear about him on nothing. You don't hear about him. And then I was right on time on my show yesterday. You're not going to hear about him on the fringe news like the Redacteds, the Jimmy Dores, the Candace Owens. Even if I tell them, look, I go to this thing, right? I go to their YouTube and then I'm like, yo, check this guy, Joe Gilberti out. Check him out. But the thing is that Joe Gilberti is he is not like us, or he is not like the majority of us. He's not the NPC. He is an independent player outside of the game. So this is why they intercepted him fast enough based off of what he did, finding that tapped water, right? He tapped that water that he's not supposed to find, but by a stroke of luck, he did. And he tried to give it to everybody, but they're trying to keep him from doing that because it's not in the script. They're trying to keep him from doing that. They're not going to put it on the news because it's not part of the story that they want to present. It doesn't go along with the 33 that we see. 33 means they're right on time, right on target. Jeffrey Epstein is all part of this. Whether they eat kids or not, I don't know. They probably do. I'm not saying that they don't, right? But this is all kind of like Jake the Awake said. This is all to elicit a response. This is all to drive us up the wall and make us go crazy. Yeah. And then when you start doing things outside of the norm, this is why Flat Earth doesn't make it on the news. This is why we're our own little world, we're our own little bubble, because it's like we're independent of this craziness. This is why we're not going to get any shine really on these other channels. They're not going to mention the flat earth because it's not part of the script. To a degree, it's not, right? Every once in a while, you'll have somebody like go off the rails, but then they reel themselves back in and then they do their thing. But it's not, it really isn't. It really isn't. either they're really not trying to present true earth, flat earth, or it's not its time yet for it to get the attention that they want it to get to the public. But at the same time, um, they're going to shape the narrative, right? Where right now we're in control of the story of the flat earth. It's us. So this is why a Joe Gilberti and his story is not going to survive in mainstream news. It's not going to make it out there because there's no 33 to attach to it. Man, this Epstein file is another one. We're being played. And here's what I'm talking about. 3 million files, right? And they said that's not even all the files. They said there's 6 million total. Who talks about 6 million all the time? You hear 6 million with these guys, right? The synagogue, oh, well, not, whatever you want to call them, right? But they talk about 6 million were executed. Then we see the newspapers from the New York Times. 6 million people kicked out of Russia. 6 million of them kicked out of here. 6 million, they had to deal with that. 6 million again. But the difference between 3 million and 6 million is what? It's 3 million. So there goes your other three. It's 33 and 6 million. It's 3 million and it's another 3 million to give you your six. All right. I think I'm chasing my own tail right now. But I think maybe somebody out there could connect the rest of the dots. Or maybe I'm just tripping. I don't think I am. I don't think this is all by coincidence, y'all. I really don't. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to shut my trap. That's all I wanted to present there. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to drop this to everybody, and then you guys have access to it. But yeah, check him out, man. Check him out, Jake the Awake. I don't necessarily watch his stuff anymore, but you want to know something? When somebody's right, they're right. Whether I like him or not, he's right. You know what I'm saying? And so you gotta call it like you see it. If I see a strike, I'm calling it. So that's all I got, fam. Make sure also in the description box is access to the OWRS to contribute. Please contribute to the OWRS, Old World Ruins and Structures. We're gonna make this thing hot. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, fam, that's all I got. Wish you guys nothing but the best. Health, wealth, love, joy, prosperity, most of all, wisdom. And with that, love y'all. I'm out. Peace.